And climb the ladder at work without working harder. I'm Tiffany Ogle.
And I'm Molly Faye. It is all next on the Morning Blend.
It's a great day, so make it everything you want it to be. It's yours and it's mine. It's a great day to shine.
First, define yourself at your job. Are you the kind of person who is happy with the status quo, or do you want to move up the ladder?
Or perhaps you want to move up, but you just don't want to work any harder. Isn't that like winning the lottery or something? You know, pretty much impossible to not work harder but still move up. Well, our next guest says no, it's not impossible. You can do it, and you have the ability to do it yourself. So joining us now is Chuck Bolton. He's an executive coach and president of the Bolton Group that specializes in making positive changes in leaders. Welcome to the show, Chuck.
Thank you very much, Tiff. Nice to meet you, Molly.
Nice to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you.
It is. So you're an executive coach. What does that mean? You go around and you work with people to help them become better leaders. Is
Absolutely.
that right?
I work with senior leaders and top leadership teams to help them be their best through behavioral coaching.
So it's a little bit of training and a lot of talking that you do. But you know, the things that you coach people on, I think, are interesting because it's not just management skills or work skills. It's things like emotional intelligence.
Exactly. It is about emotional intelligence and how we connect with people. And really, emotional intelligence is a differentiator for success in so many roles. So it's not enough just to have the technical knowledge, but we have to be emotionally intelligent and be able to connect with people to really become our best.
And we were talking earlier, kind of teasing that a lot of people want to move up that corporate ladder, but they don't necessarily want to work much harder. Is that true? Can you do that?
Well, you know, people are working very hard right now, and in the job market, we know it's a tough market out there. There are a lot of people who aren't working, and there are a lot of people who are afraid for their jobs. Yet our employers are looking for us to create even greater value. So how do we do that? And the people that can really create greater value, they're what I call the rock stars.
I love this sketch.
I like this too.
So the question is, are you a rock star or are you just a rock?
Right.
And if you're a rock, that's a dangerous place to be. Being a commodity is dangerous in today's market. Our employers want rock stars, people who are creative and who are adding value to the business and reinventing themselves. And there's some things we can do around that.
They're the people that you think of in the office who are the go-to person, right? You're the go-to guy or the go-to gal.
They're definitely so. They are the ones who are extremely valuable, the A players or the rock stars, and we can learn to be that too.
Okay, so let's learn to be a rock star. There are certain things that you should bring to work, and I'm not talking about a laptop or a briefcase or something like that.
Exactly. There are three things that we bring to work every day. Number one is our IQ. And our IQ gets set very early in life, so there's not much we can do to raise that.
It's kind of like how smart we are.
How smart we are. The second thing we bring is our personality. And our personality tends to get set pretty early in life, too.
That's all I bring to work.
You bring a lot more than that, Tiffany. I know that's not true. But we bring our personality, and there are some things we can do about that. We'll talk about those in just a few minutes. The third area is what we've already talked about, the emotional intelligence. And the great news about emotional intelligence is, unlike IQ, we can develop that at any point in life if we're willing to learn some new things and to take some new approaches. And so we can talk a little bit more about how we can become more emotionally intelligent at work.
Well, and people that I know who have high EQs, or as you say it, it's actually EIs, emotional intelligence, they not only do well at work, but they make friends easily, they know how to get ahead, and part of it is what? Understanding other people and how to interact with other people?
Definitely so. So emotional intelligence carries over not just in work, but outside of work. But the emotionally intelligent person is very self-aware. They are able to control their impulses and harness their strengths to a project. They are socially aware. In other words, they show great empathy towards others. And finally, they have great relationship management skills. Those are the four big buckets of emotional intelligence. And the good news, again, is that we can develop those.
Do you think this applies the same to men and women, or are women a little bit more emotionally intelligent, or are men?
Boy, this is a dangerous question.
It is, isn't it, right?
But in reality, women tend to be more emotionally intelligent than men are.
I would have guessed that, you know, just in general, because I think they tend to be more intuitive.
They tend to be more intuitive, and women are doing better in the job market. More men are looking for work than are women, and the problem is, in the post-industrial economy, is that brawn and stamina and physical strength don't count for what they used to count for. In today's economy, it's based on human capital and knowledge. So what's that all about? That's about relationships and connecting, and that's where women are superior than men right now. So guys, we we got a lot of work to do here
Yeah, right.
to build our emotional intelligence, but it's critical.
Okay, so let's build our emotional intelligence. There are 4 common styles, right?
Yes. Yeah. So let's talk about how we manifest that sort of day in and day out. It's in the way we like to communicate, and there are 4 communication styles principally. And the first is around dominance, and that's how we like to handle problems. Do we tend to be more focused on dominance as our set communication style? The second style is about influence, and that's how we like to influence and interact with others. The third is about steadiness, and that's how we like to deal with change. And are we more team-oriented or individually oriented? More team-oriented people are heavy and steady. And the fourth and final one is around compliance, and that's how we tend to work with rules and regulations and process and controls and that kind of thing. So what's really important to know is what is our communication style preference, and then to be able to quickly identify what are the communication styles of others so that we can make a shift to get in the same wavelength that they're in.
You gave a great example of that. You said, you know, when I'm talking to somebody who may be a lot of personality, I'm going to raise up that part of my communication style. But if I'm working with your producer, like getting ready for the show, I'm going to pay more attention to detail. I'm going to be a little bit more on task.
Yes.
You know, those kinds of things. So adjusting your communication style is what's going to get you ahead.
It really is. It's like listening to FM radio. If somebody's on smooth jazz and I'm on country, do I pull them to country or I go to smooth jazz? One works a lot better than the others. I'm going to go to smooth jazz so I can get on the same wavelength as that producer. And so there are 2 questions we can ask around these styles. Is a person tend to be more people-oriented or project-oriented? That's number 1. And then secondly, are they more reactive or are they more proactive? And by looking at the grid that your viewers can see on screen is also on my website, if they want to take a look at that, they can quickly see where people fall from a style standpoint, and they can flex their styles to meet them. And that's a great way to create more value and to make sure your star is rising at work.
That's wonderful. I know you've got 2 great books that people can find on your website as well. I want to give the information so people can contact you if they're interested in either executive coaching or personal coaching for themselves as well to get their leadership style on course, communication style, whatnot. You can contact the Bolton Group. They're located in Minneapolis, willing to travel here to Milwaukee. The phone number on your screen is 800 toll-free 310-9020, and you can go to theboltongroup.com. I love, Chuck, your blogs, your Facebook, your Twitter, everything. You're a great tech-savvy guy to follow online as well.
Yeah, you really keep up with it. It's great.
Thanks.
Nice to have you on the show. Come back soon.
Molly and Tiff, thanks so much. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks for being here. We'll see you next month.
Okay, sounds good.